and welcome to Might Be Awesome. My name is Sam Bashor.
And I'm DJ Wooldridge.
And today we're here with another Fantastic Fest review. This is for the secret screening that we didn't know we were going to be seeing. This movie was a surprise. Didn't know it was going to be at the festival, but we're here to talk about Dolemite Is My Name, starring Eddie Murphy, Wesley Snipes, Keegan-Michael Tituss, Burgess.
Divine Joy Randolph.
There you go. Cody Smith McPhee, a.k.a. Nightcrawler, Snoop Dogg, Chris Rock, Craig Robinson, Mike Epps, T.I. I don't know where he is.
We're not quite sure where T.I. was in the movie.
Yeah, so Eddie Murphy portrays real-life legend Rudy Ray Moore, a comedy and rap pioneer who proved naysayers wrong when his hilarious, obscene kung fu fighting alter ego Dolemite became a 1970s Blaxploitation phenomenon.
Yes.
That's a very well said and succinct synopsis, and guess what? You're about to get the opposite of that for this review. Yeah. You're very welcome.
And currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it is sitting at 97% without a critic's consensus yet.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. It is. I believe we saw the premiere for that movie. So
the U.S. premiere?
I believe so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I will say, when you go into the secret screening, there's a lot of rumors, a lot of murmurs. Dr. Sleep was thrown out there.
The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse. Lighthouse ended up being the second secret screening. Unfortunately, we missed that. Joker was one that I think I threw out there. I don't think anybody else was saying, but
other people were saying it,
okay.
Though. The big one that was on everyone's mind was Cats.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, it was cool seeing Dolemite. Cats would have been amazing.
Yeah, Cats would have been interesting. And when they announced that it was like, because this is the first time we were able to go to secret screening. Normally we do our Austin meetup when the secret screening is happening.
And they pushed it back.
They pushed it back this year, thankfully. And so the lights dimmed, and he did a little, the presenter did a little like rap poem that was given to him that introduced it. And I was like,
it was a rap poem. So now I understand it because all the references to names, I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I know what's going on.
This is.
And I was like, oh, okay. Because I'd seen the trailer and it looked like your kind of typical like feel good biopic, and I was interested because I like Blaxploitation films. I don't think I've seen Dolemite in particular, but like Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, Shaft. Shaft's more mainstream, but you know what I mean, like those type of movies. And I knew Eddie Murphy was kind of getting ready for his renaissance here. Wesley Snipes is in it, so I wasn't not looking forward to it. It's just compared to those other movies, I was like.
Like, if it popped up on Netflix, I don't know if I'd check it out. And that's a bummer because after watching this movie, I really enjoyed it.
Agreed. It is, to be fair, it is kind of your traditional feel-good biopic. But
the lesson in it is very well fulfilled.
And it is very funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is very funny. Eddie Murphy is really funny in it. Big shout out to Divine Joy Randolph, who also did a Q&A after. Mm-hmm. And not only is she amazing in the movie and kind of a standout, at least for me, she was a major standout in the movie, but she seems like a delightful, lovely person. And I hope this is the beginning of many, many big things for her because she's so gifted.
Agreed. This is from director Craig Brewer, who worked on Hustle and Flow and Black Snake Moan. Yeah. As a director, he was writer for The Legend of Tarzan, if anyone remembers that. Mm-hmm. Also, has worked on Empire for a very long time. And so, watching this movie, it was a fun surprise. Yeah. And throughout the entire film, I couldn't help but smile, like you said, for the humor in it. Yeah. One of the best scenes is when we have Dolemite, played by Eddie Murphy, asking for money from his aunt. Yeah, and he's like, give it to me. Give me money. And it's a playful, like a jib-jab between the two of them. And you understand their world and how hard this person's willing to work and what he's willing to do to be successful. Yeah. We meet Rudy Ray Moore after releasing multiple albums, not just singles, like albums, like records with a full catalog of music and different genres that he was trying out to be somebody. He's an artist and he wants to find the audience for him. Yeah. And seeing him discover that through his comedy records and understanding that, like, he can be like adult humor. He can swear and he can use this cadence and he can create this character of Dolemite that people can relate to, and he's able to go on a tour, and you're able to see the birth of what Dolemite the movie character is, and how they're able to fulfill that. And for people who make YouTube videos for a living like we do, or people who are watching, or if you guys ever want to, Dolemite is such an inspiring movie because nowadays we're able to, cameras come on our phones or on our computers or anything, and we doesn't mean we know how to make a movie, but we're able to make some sort of something that is ours and is able to fulfill what we want to bring to any kind of screen, small, big, medium, whatever. And seeing Rudy Ray Moore using all of his funds and all of his resources and all of his friends to come together to make a movie that they knew there's an audience for and they're begging for it. Yeah. It's so inspiring, and also great that we see that critically it's panned.
Dolemite,
Dolemite is panned.
But I like, there's a moment, I think about halfway through the movie, where he's trying to get his movie made, and they're like, man, you can't make a movie for just the 5 blocks that like your stuff. He's like, but every city in America has those 5 blocks. You know what I mean? And it's, if you, no matter what you want to do, no matter what you're trying to do, especially if it's creative, there's a lot of doors shut in your face and everything, and seeing his tenacity to not give up and to make something happen is inspiring. And it's a great performance by Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah. This is like Dreamgirls, where he was getting Oscar buzz for it. Yeah. And like, it's just, we're familiar with Eddie Murphy's work for the past like decade, where it's kind of like these like safer family dramas, like The 1,000 Words or what have you, and nothing's wrong with those kinds of movies. It was just like you're kind of waiting for Eddie Murphy to hit his stride again, and this movie feels like that. Yep. And there has been some Oscar buzz about his performance in this movie, and I'm like, overall, I think he does a very, very good job. Yeah. I don't know about that, but I still think people should watch it if they've ever tried to undertake a creative endeavor and have felt like the world's turning against them. You should watch this movie. Also, great seeing Wesley Snipes back. He plays an amazing role as someone who is an established actor trying to come into this world and just he understands it, but he is very critical of how they're going about making this movie. And
100%.
And his entire role is hilarious. Also, Keegan-Michael coming from a different world as well, and trying to help make this movie a legitimate project. And honestly, again, back to Eddie Murphy, because you can just his passion just pours out of the screen, as well as Queen Bee. Played by
Randolph.
Thank you. Yeah. She and Eddie have a specific scene in a bar together. Yes. It's when they meet for the first time, and you get a cool moment where you see how physically powerful Bee is, but also you see her passion. You see what she's willing to do for her son and what she wants in the world, and Rudy Ray Moore kind of trying to connect, or not trying to, fully connects with her and is able to create a career for her.
Yeah, and also I'm glad that it never, they didn't make that relationship romantic in any way. There isn't really any romantic arc. It's just focused on the romance. The passion is towards making a career for yourself, making something when people tell you you can't or you shouldn't, and persevering through that.
Oh yeah, and also, gang, if you've ever heard the term pivot before, this is a great movie for pivoting. Yeah. This is you see Rudy Ray Moore trying to do the classic, what he thought was right, what he thought everyone else was doing, and then when he finally finds his voice, and which is not an easy thing to do, but when you see him find it, you're like, I get it. I understand why this was popular. Also, he's great at marketing. He's very good at marketing himself. And also, it's great watching a movie where I feel like a lot of people, when they were kids, made a kung fu movie with their friends. Yeah. And it's like, but what if you had a budget behind it, but you still didn't teach yourself what it was? That's what Dolemite is. And it's so self-aware. It's so nice to watch a comedy that's self-aware. And I would like to watch this again when it hits Netflix. And I think it's going to be doing a theatrical release as well. So if you can go see it, you should go see it.
100%.
And 97%, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes is a little high for how I felt about it. But I would still give it... I think it succeeds at what it's trying to do, and I think we get expert performances and direction, and the score is great, and the message behind it is wonderful. So I'd still give this, like, out of 10, I'd give it like a 8.9.
Nice. Like an 8.9. Nice. Yeah, I would give it. I would probably give it like an 8.5. As far as just it is what it is. As far as like what it meant to me watching it and where I'm at in my life, it was like it was like oh man, this is what I needed. Yeah. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was actually very thankful they made this the secret show, because like you said, I don't know if I would have sought it out on my own. And so I'm glad. Part of the joy of going to festivals, if you ever get a chance to go to a film festival, is discovering stuff that you wouldn't otherwise find. And even though this is accessible, it's a Netflix movie, because it wasn't something I would have necessarily sought out on my own. It really meant a lot to me. It was a really great experience, and I do recommend checking it out.
And I did tear up.
I will tell 100%. Same.
By the end of this movie, there is a moment where you're able to see that, yes, you have a dream and you want to fulfill it, but what that can mean for other people who discover your journey is really special. And seeing what Dolemite meant to other people is, God, it was and what Rudy was willing to do for the people that appreciated and supported his work. God dang, it's great. You guys should definitely watch it when it hits Netflix. See it in the theater if you can, and just, I don't know, man, just to talk about it. Make sure that people are watching this movie, because 100%. If you need a pick-me-up, this year has been a weird year for a lot of people I know, and probably for you as well. So if you would like something that can give you a little spark to get through the holidays, check this out. And let us know when you guys see it. Let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Also, it's worth pointing out, I believe this will still be the case when this goes up. Currently, you can see the actual movie Dolemite on Amazon Prime. Very cool.
Yeah. So
Netflix,
I recommend,
you should scoop that up.
Yeah, I would recommend checking that out as well if you enjoyed this movie.
We should do a watch along.
Yeah, 100%.
That'd be cool. Make sure you check out patreon.com for all of our Fantastic Fest coverage. Also, by the time this goes up, we'll have a podcast episode talking about all of our best movies we saw at Fantastic Fest. Or our worst. And it will be a fun discussion. So don't miss out. Make sure you check out all of our other episodes and support if you can. We appreciate it. And at the very least, share this with your friends. And until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.